9 roaches, a couple overlords. He does have a spire on the way, 7 more drones. So looking, like I said, at the unit tab, Protoss has about a 9 harvester lead at the moment, so that's grown a little bit since that last engagement.
Certainly, we do see an Overseer out here on the map. Probably going to do a poke in, try and see what's going on. Blink going down in the Protoss space. 3 more gates up, bringing us to 6, and that 1 robotics pumping out Colossus with range on the way. And look at this gateway force. This is a scary gateway force. We have +1 attack finish, killing off a pylon so he can move out. +1 armor, about 3/4 of the way done. If he chrono boosts that, this is going to be a very nice 1-1 2 Colossus push through the middle.
Yeah, and you know, there's really only roaches out on the map right now. He does have a spire down, so he is able to pump out some corruptors probably, but will they be out in time? He doesn't. Oh, he does have a couple on the way right now. I think a total of 3. And looking at the production tab, Blink has finished.
And some good force fields going down from Saint, pushing into this roach mess here. Of course, you know, more force fields separating out some of those roaches. You know, the Colossus doing huge damage, and I'm not sure if Moonglade is going to be able to hold this. Looks like he is pulling back.
Yeah, I think he had just enough roaches to kind of scare Protoss away, and the ability to reinforce so quickly being right there. He does have a 3rd up as well. He sneaked that in there. I actually did not see that, but I think if he can just keep this, I think if Saint can just keep getting some Colossus with and keeping his macro up with some gates, the inevitable will happen. I feel like he's just ahead because of the early game and the late hatchery, expansion from Moonglade. But looking at the harvester count, it's actually in favor of Zerg now all of a sudden. It's 65 workers to 52.
And
So,
I mean, that's exactly what happens when you let Zerg sit back on 2 or 3 bases and just macro their little hearts out. They get so many workers so quickly, and then are able to just slam out a ton of units. If we look at the supply difference, Zerg is actually in the lead, 159 supply to 120 for Saint. You know, Saint though pushing out with this scary 1-1. You know, Colossus force, only 2-3 corruptors on the map here. More roaches being reinforced in, but a 3rd going down for Protoss. So I think that first push out there and this little sharking in the middle, exactly what Protoss needs to do to get that 3rd up and secured.
yeah, he's not committing to any attacks. He might poke at this 3rd a little bit, but he's doing a good job of limiting the creep spread. He's not letting it get to the middle of the map, which is important. And if he gets that 3rd up and gets those geysers up, he's going to be in a great position. He's actually poking towards the 3rd right now. We may have a big engagement here. Corruptors going in, aiming for the Colossus. Great force fields, just completely denying the roaches, Gwyn. Look at that.
But look at how fast those Colossus are falling. Although they are all dead, I feel like Moonglade may have overmade Corruptors. There's only 2 Colossus were out on the field. Immortals now in production. And this roach force gonna be, you know, easily zoned with these force fields. Not gonna do the damage it needs to.
Yeah, Blink is done, so these roaches are in trouble with some good Blink micro here. I'd really like to see him clean this up and maybe snipe that hatch. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it, though. It's quite a bit of roaches.
It certainly is. And roaches, you know, very cost-effective against stalkers, simply because, oh, and look at all these corruptions going down from Moonglade. I love this play. Using that energy from the corruptors, do something with it, but alas, it is not enough. You know, we still have a ton of stalkers here on the field, focusing down that hatch now, and these are roaches, you know, just not going to be there in time. More stalkers streaming in, and the GG.
Yeah, nice Blink micro there. The upgrade, I think, was in his favor as well, having 1-1 to just 1-0 for the Zerg. But the force fields, even though those corruptors took him out, as you mentioned, those Colossus so quickly, those force fields, I just want to point out, for maybe some newer users that really don't know, you know, too much and are trying to prove their game, he completely, like, isolated his entire ground army. Like, his roaches weren't doing anything. So even though they were taken out very quickly, those Colossi, they got some hits in, and then all of a sudden it was a wounded roach army, already had some hits, and then he's got these insane amount of Blink Stalkers that were microed very well, and just really nice force fields, really exploiting the fact that that Zerg only has 4 range on their roaches to his 6 on his Stalkers and 9 on his Colossi.
Certainly, I mean, and that's exactly, you know, the crux of this type of push in the matchup is just, you know, that balance between Corruptors and Roaches as a Zerg player. And then additionally, as the Protoss player, balancing how many Colossus you make. If you overmake Colossus and they all get killed by Corruptors, your ground army is weaker. You know, obviously, Saint going for the higher gateway count, lower Colossus or Robo Bay count units, able to overpower, you know, Moonglade, who overmade Corruptors in this situation.
Yeah, I mean, there's no Hydras on the map either, so I think he probably made the right decision going a little bit more heavy gate. Had there been more Hydra, I think he probably would have needed more Colossi. Or, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and call him Colossus. I'm not European, so, yeah, Colossus. And
I think the proper term is Coloxen.
Yeah, there we go.
If I might interject.
Yeah, but really nice Blink micro. Blink is so powerful when you don't have Hydra on the map. And I mean, roaches do okay against it, especially on creep. But when you have that many and you're already like kind of playing from behind, and you know, I can't get over those force fields. They were very clutch. The armies or the supplies was actually in favor of Zerg when that battle went down. So with really good micro, Protoss is a force to be reckoned with, and it goes back to the beginning of the game when you get those first sentries out. That's why a lot of Protoss players prefer to get sentries out early. Is you want to start racking up energy on those sentries, so you have as many force fields as you want when you decide to finally engage with your death ball, I should say.
Certainly. And with that, I think we're going to go ahead and jump out. Again, this was a cast by GR StarCraft. That is Gwyn and Rohans. Check us out again at GR StarCraft at twitter.com, or additionally, you know, just check us out at LzRuha's YouTube page, which is youtube.com/LzRuha Media. Thank you all.